Why does scrolling social media feel so easy as opposed to being productive? Why do you keep wasting your life even though you know you shouldn't? It's because you have programmed your mind wrong. If being productive feels hard, then you're doing it wrong. Here is how to make work just as addictive as social media. Welcome to the Purposeful Man movement. I help men improve their lives by strengthening their minds and their bodies. This isn't the usual bullshit entertainment video. This is a raw, authentic video that will provide you with real value. Most people have clicked off by this point, but most people will keep ruining their lives with procrastination. But for the person who stays, I will talk about the 3 steps that will allow you to reprogram your mind to make work feel easy. Step 1, environment. Step 2, system. Step 3, consistency. Step 1, environment. Look at your room right now. Is it tidy or is it messy? What objects do you have in your room? Is the work you're supposed to be doing in front of you, or is it hidden away in some drawer? Are the devices on which you procrastinate always in front of you? Then how do you expect to do anything? This is what most people cannot understand. Your environment sends feedback to your brain all the time. If the environment sends the wrong feedback, then work will feel impossible. You need to set up your environment in such a way that it's conducive to being productive, and this way you almost start doing work automatically. It just becomes the easiest habit you ever done because it's all in front of you. But if what's in front of you is the objects with which you procrastinate, you end up, surprise, surprise, procrastinating. My room used to be messy. My room had all my work hidden away in drawers, while the things that made me procrastinate were readily available on my desk. My phone was always with me. I would try to work in this messy environment. I would try to work in the same space that I was playing video games and jacking off. And of course, it felt impossible because everything reminded me of procrastination and my brain just wanted to procrastinate. Then I changed the entire layout of my room. I moved my desk to like another space in my room. I replaced all my old objects, including my phone, computer, everything. And now it's just way easier to do the work because that's what my room is set up to do. So the first, easiest and most simple step you can take to make work feel easy is to just make your environment promote work instead of procrastination. Ask yourself which objects in your room promote productivity and which promote procrastination. Remove the ones that promote procrastination and add more of the ones that promote the work. If you want to study, then your books, notebooks, everything should be on your desk where you can see it all day. I want to make videos, so my tripod is in front of my desk all day. Also clean your room, because when your room is very tidy, your mind is also tidy and it allows for work. My room is extremely clean. I only have objects which I need. There is no clutter, zero clutter. And I also recommend rearranging the whole room. If you have procrastinated for a long time in one spot of your room, it's likely that your brain associates that one spot with procrastination. I used to play video games for years at the other side of my room where my desk used to be. Of course, when I tried to do anything but play video games and jack off there, it just felt impossible. So what I did is that I just moved my desk over here to this other side of the room, and I have never played video games since then. I only work here, I only make videos. When you change your environment by tidying your room, rearranging it, and only having objects which promote productivity, work will feel 10 times easier. But we don't want to just make it easy. We want to make it as addictive as social media. Step 2, system. Why is social media so addictive? Because it has a system, an algorithm that makes it feel very rewarding and gives you dopamine. If you try to stop social media and replace it with work, it feels impossible because you're not replacing the algorithm. So what happens is that your brain just becomes hella unhappy and starts associating work as something negative. When that happens, only one thing follows: procrastination. This is how you fall into the toxic cycle of trying to work for a little bit, losing control and procrastinating, and then feeling super guilty about yourself. If you want to actually become productive, we need to make work feel as rewarding, just like watching a YouTube video or scrolling Instagram. We need to replace the dopamine. We can't expect to work consistently when work feels like torture. We need to make the whole thing feel rewarding. This is where your own productivity system comes in. And listen carefully, motherfucker, because this is golden advice, okay? This is life-changing advice. A productivity system allows you to track your own progress in life and get that dopamine hit when you see you're making positive progress. Most people make the mistake of not tracking their progress, and so work starts feeling endless and unrewarding, which is the opposite of what you want. I struggled to be productive for the majority of 2023. I just couldn't do it. I would say it was the most painful year of my life because I just disappointed myself again and again. But I finished the year really strong. I finally became productive and proud of myself. I am finally seeing progress in all areas of my life. And it all happened like a switch. I just became productive overnight. What happened? Well, I made a system. I decided to start tracking my progress. So I tracked my first week and I saw that I had been pretty lazy. It was another disappointing week. But seeing my exact progress, I became determined to be better and to do better next week. And so I did. I was much better. And it became more rewarding than video games or social medias because it was actually happening in my real life. It wasn't just pixels on the screen. I was actually getting real results. I'm telling you, it's like the best feeling in the world. You should absolutely try to make a system. I went from disappointing myself for a whole year to being extremely productive in like 2 weeks. This is the power of a system. I had replaced the dopamine from social media with the dopamine of tracking my own progress. Work became enjoyable. To create a rewarding system is simple. First, set a concrete goal. You need to know exactly what you're working towards. Not many goals, one singular goal. The goal should be specific and time limited. Setting the goal of studying hard is terrible and will not reward you, because what does studying hard mean? The goal should be something specific, like getting an A in mathematics for the next test, which is coming in like a month. You should have a very specific thing you need to achieve with a time limit. Pursuing a concrete goal puts you under pressure, but it's the good pressure, it's the rewarding pressure that makes you excited about life. Once you set a goal, you need to write a schedule or a daily task list. What are the habits, the tasks that you need to complete every day in order to achieve your goal? So for the previous example, you would need to study every day, but also maybe meditate to recover your mind, but also maybe participate in class more. Bear in mind that life is not one-dimensional. You should set one singular goal in order to be fully focused and know that you're achieving it, but that doesn't mean you neglect every other area of your life. My goal is strictly related to this channel and entrepreneurship, but I still work out 6 days a week. I read every day, I journal, I do a lot of stuff. We do a little improvement. When you select your tasks to achieve your main goal, do not neglect the rest of your life. After you set a goal and a daily task list, then all you need to do is track it. Track how many of the tasks you have done and how many bad habits you have done over the course of a week. Once the week is done, you simply need to sit down to evaluate your progress, make improvements to your task list, and just try next week to do even better than the previous week until you achieve your goal. I promise you, this system is more addictive than any social media or video game because you start getting results in your real life and it feels amazing. I tripled my subscribers in like a month with this system. Step 3. Consistency. There is this common misconception that I was guilty of myself, just like many other people. The misconception is that being consistent is like a talent. You're either born lazy or you're not born lazy. Or you either want it hard enough or you don't want it hard enough. But guess what? That's bullshit. We don't live in a talent show. Productivity, discipline, consistency, whatever you want to call it, is a skill. Nobody is born with it. Being productive is a skill just like any other. It takes time to develop it, just like fitness, just like trying to make money, just like social skills, just like any other skill. Do not assume that people just decide to become successful and then they just randomly start working as hard as possible. Working hard is a skill in on itself, and at the start of the journey of everybody who has ever wanted to achieve something, first they had a period of friction where they couldn't make themselves do the work. I experienced this period of friction at the end of 2022 and the majority of 2023. I didn't know it at the time, but through my struggles, I was developing the skill of discipline, productivity. Overcoming yourself, overcoming the lizard lazy brain is a $1 million skill in on itself. Most people give up because they can't ever become consistent. They can't develop the one skill that is essentially responsible for how successful you will be in life, in any area of life. I have achieved more success on this YouTube channel than in the past 2 months, than in the entire previous year. But that doesn't mean I wasn't progressing the previous year. It simply means that I was learning the skill of discipline. You first need to strengthen the mind before attaining any success in any area of life, because only a powerful mind can be consistent, and only consistently working leads to the compounding results that make you achieve your goals. The final step 3 of reprogramming your mind and becoming productive is to just not give up and stay consistent with trying to be consistent. Keep trying to be productive. Never wake up with the intention to waste the whole day. If you keep trying to be productive, if you keep that pressure up in your head and you keep pushing yourself, you're developing the skill of being disciplined. There will be failures, but the difference between the guy who ends up being productive and the guy who just gives up is that the first guy is fucking trying every day, and eventually things just click for him, just like they did click for me. Not giving up at any point and trying to be productive all the time means you're developing the skill of discipline, slowly, gradually. If you make your environment conducive to work, if you make a system that is just as rewarding and as addictive as social media or video games, and if you're consistent in trying to be consistent, you will eventually make work feel super easy and even more enjoyable than any social media, and you will achieve your goals. If you found value in this video, then join the movement and become a purposeful man. Subscribe for more of this type of content, and remember, if you don't achieve your purpose, nobody will. Be ruthless.